Well, the Yankees GM is getting hot in here, so I have nothing else to do. You?
No, you guys can take off your clothes together.
We're gonna go watch some baseball and drink beer.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm relaxed. I got home late. This is all. We don't. This is. All right, welcome to another show. It's Shane, the original individual that set this up. I've been kind of busy this summer, so Charles has been taking over. Thank you, Charles. He's taking the night off, kind of nice. And then Richie, as always, is here to run the show. I keep saying it's pissing me off. I've got Matt Knickerbocker here, the GM of the Yankees. And then get this started, I got a little PBR. Yeah. Richie's at a coffee shop, so he's drinking coffee. Matt and I are drinking beer. All right. So my first question for you, Matt, is when was your very first experience with OOTP? When did you get started?
I got started in my spring semester of my junior year, which would have been last year, around May. Doing pretty good so far. It's fun. Been in a couple leagues. This league I'm pretty happy with. I'm competing in the wild card, so hopefully we'll see what my team pulls together and can keep on going.
Have you done any online games before, like simulations other than OOTP?
No, this is my first simulation.
Okay. Richie, you have anything? Come on, help me out here.
So, for those who don't know, you guys dorm together.
We don't dorm.
Live together. Is that more accurate, or?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So did you guys become friends before OOTP or after OOTP?
Before OOTP. I actually met him the first time when we were in high school, but then we became friends more towards college.
I would say probably our main thing, the reason why we were friends, is probably baseball.
Yeah.
He's a big baseball guy outside of the game, outside of this game here, and so am I. A big Dodger fan. He really likes 4 teams, but his biggest team he likes is the Yankees. So yeah, we just like talking baseball. So I guess that kind of is how it started. So yeah,
so how did that happen? How do you like the Yankees living in Wisconsin?
Well, originally Derek Jeter and A-Rod were my big players I loved growing up. Until A-Rod recently, well, not recently, but steroids. So I hate him now, but Derek Jeter has been my idol as a baseball player. So that kind of led me into a Yankees fan.
All right, let's move into OOTP now that we got a little bit of. Actually, no. How about we talk about your baseball career, like real life baseball? How long have you been playing baseball? And then I don't know if you just want to talk about that a little bit. Maybe the positions you played.
I've been playing baseball since I don't even know how old. It's been a big part of my life. I play position-wise. I've been catching for most of my life until recently. I got knee and shoulder issues, so I'm not really playing anymore. This last year would have been my last year. But I've also played third base for a while. That's about my 2 primary positions, a little bit of middle infield.
All right. Now that we've got the...
Let's talk about your Let's talk about your construction career.
Not that one.
Yeah. That's a good. No, that's a good.
But you were away from the game because some people didn't know that.
Yeah, I was working road construction this summer. That kind of led me away, but I was still trying to keep up. Just wasn't around as much.
No, Matt, really, where were you over the summer?
Scouting trip to the Dominican, an extended scouting trip, looking at players from my Yankees.
Yeah, Max, you hear that, Commissioner? He was busy working on his team. So, yeah, no, we're happy that you're back now.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, and you're on early these days. So, I mean, no one's really on at 6 a.m. from where I live, except for Charles or Shane. So it's good to have you back on and back so early too.
Wake up pretty early. I'm pretty used to it now, so I'll be up and around almost all day.
Okay, now that we've got all of that situated, how about we actually talk about the Yankees in general? I think your biggest pressing, I think everyone knew your biggest concern going into the season was your pitching. No one really questioned if your offense would have any weak spots. It was more of if you had the starters to keep you in the games. Is there anything that, you acquired Hashimoto, you acquired Ricky Nolasco. Then you also, I believe you brought up Brett Marshall. Is there anything you want to, I guess starting with the free agent signings, Hashimoto and Nolasco, what were your two reasonings by them? They obviously got really huge contracts. So is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Well, as always, we're the Yankees and we're looking to compete for the championship every year, so we don't mind spending the extra money. Hashimoto costs about $17 million, $17.5 million. I'm really happy with his production as of right now. He's got a 3.2 ERA, 7-3, so he's getting the wins. He's keeping his ERA down. Really good ground ball hitter, so he's not going to get the strikeouts for us, but I like that. Nolasco, we paid $18 million, and he was supposed to be my number 2, so he made more than our ace, which was Hashimoto, but he went down for the year, which is a really big disappointment. We also gave him a 2-year contract on that, so he's making $18 million next year. And hopefully, if he's coming back next year, he'll be able to provide in the starting rotation, because this year was a big letdown from him. We had other players step up. Brett Marshall stepped up big this year so far. His ERA is a little high, but he's getting it done for such a young guy. He's 8.5 with 4.47 ERA. Happy with his production. Pitching has been a big concern for us. We had CC Sabathia on the DL to start the year. He's back now, and Pineda went down last night, so that was a big injury.
Excuse me.
Matt
likes penis.
That was a little gay thing Shane has to do in there. In the meantime, we're waiting to see the diagnosis on Michael Pineda. We're hoping to find out what his injury is tonight and how long he'll be out. But hopefully we can get him back and get him going, because with Sabathia in the rotation back now, Hashimoto and Pineda, we should be able to make a push for the playoffs, as we're leading the wild card now in the American League.
Oh, sorry. So given how shallow your rotation has been, why kind of take us through why you were contemplating shopping Pineda the last few days before his injury?
Well, if you've looked at the Yankees team, we are an old team. Pineda could have gotten us a good return. We do want to get young and build up a farm. Usually we've dished out a lot of our farm to make players, but we do want to get young. As of right now, I'm looking like I'm not going to put a shot Pineda around anymore. He's probably going to stay. We want to make a push to the playoffs and hopefully make an acquisition before the trade deadline to bring another pitcher, hopefully, that can help us out.
No, I was going to move.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to stick on the pitching there. Are you surprised at all how Mariano Rivera has been, pitching given his 44 years of age? Or and his velocity is down a little. Obviously down. He's anywhere from 87 to 89, but looking at his numbers, he's still competitive. Were you surprised at all?
Surprised? No, I wouldn't say that. Mariano Rivera has been our go-to guy in the back end for many years. He's won championships with us. He's done a lot of work. 44 years old, it is impressive that he's still playing the way he is. His velocity isn't that low for a 44-year-old pitcher. He's throwing at 87, 89. That cutter, he's lived and died by the cutter, which still is why we've been such a great player for us all these years. And we'll see what he does after this year. But at 44 years old, we're still competing and making it to the playoffs. We're in the wild card now.
Does he still want to come back with you? Re-sign for next season? Or?
Right now, there's been no talks of a contract extension, but he's signed through 2016, so we'll keep him there for now. And if he decides to retire at the end of the year, we'll see what happens. But right now, he's signed through 2016. Oh no, yeah, he's signed through 2016. We have a lot of old players. Like I said, the Yankees are not a young team as right now, so towards the end of the year, we're going to see a lot of things that could happen. Mariano Rivera could retire. Derek Jeter is getting there up in age. We'll see how he's still competing well, though, so see what happens.
How about we go into the trades now? We'll go to the trade between the Cardinals with Charles. It was a straight-up trade between Brett Gardner and Carlos Beltran. You want to go into the thought process behind that trade?
All right, yeah. Well, with this trade, we are Yankees Bronx Bombers. We've always been known for that. I really like Carlos Beltran's offense that he can provide. Given he hasn't hit as many home runs this year, but he's still providing. He's hitting high average. He's hitting 315. 31 RBIs and 6 homers, so he's been a great offensive addition to us. We did lose a lot of defense bringing him in and letting Gardner go, a lot of stolen bases. But I was looking forward to having more powerful offense, knowing that my pitching was going to be weaker this year. So making that trade with Gardner, I believe, worked out perfectly for the Yankees organization.
Yeah, I mean, no bias aside. I think it's. I know Gardner, talking with Charles a little bit, he's been anything but. I don't want to speak for Charles, but just from in the chat, he was batting below 200 for the longest time. Just as of recent, I don't. He was getting over 200 to be exact. Looking at it right now, he's getting up there. It's up to 241 now, so he's starting to find his way. But without, yeah, I mean, I could see why how Beltran's definitely batting 315, and he's a solid bat. He's defensively, he's not, obviously Gardner, but your offense is that much better with Beltran in the lineup. So it was a good trade. Obviously on your side, it's still to be determined. I guess on Charles' side, I'm guessing he would probably want a little bit more out of him. I know I would, but it's still early. While we have Richie with us here, how about since we're interviewing you, Matt, elaborate on your guys' trade this offseason that involved DH Ryan Wheeler, who can play third base but not very well, and you ship Ben Gamel and Manny Banuelos.
Yes.
If you want to just kind of elaborate, and then Richie will get your thoughts.
Again, with that trade, looking for offense, Ryan Wheeler's offense is, in my opinion, fantastic. I needed more offense to back that weak pitching staff up. Ryan Wheeler was not an expensive player. $490. He's on the minimum right now. So he has been a great addition to us. He's our most cost-effective player. He's hitting above 300, I believe. 310. He's got 16 home runs and 50 RBIs. He's hitting in my 3 spot. When I brought him over as that young of a player in a DH, I took a lot of people criticizing him for that move, but I believe it to be a strong move. And the prospects I get out for good organization, but having Wheeler, who is a good young offensive threat, is a fantastic addition to the organization.
Yeah, I think it was a win-win for the both of us, because coming into the trade, I don't think I really had a plan for Ryan Wheeler, being the NL team that I am, and he not being able to play anywhere on the field, really. I mean, first or third, not to knock what Matt has going on for him, but I think he's really a DH kind of player, so we were really trying to shop him to specifically an AL team, and Matt was the guy who came forward to us and presented basically an offer of was Ben Gamel, and I kind of included Manny Banuelos as well, the lefty starting pitcher. So I got two decent mid-level prospects for a guy who I really didn't think was going to be able to contribute for me. So I think it's win-win considering how well Ryan Wheeler is right now, batting third for Matt.
Yeah, I think definitely Ryan Wheeler has, between Wheeler, Teixeira, I mean, you guys' team batting average is 288, which just is unreal.
Ranked number 1 in the league.
Yeah, when you got guys batting, you've got 4 or 5 guys batting over 300. That's just saying something. And Wheeler's definitely been that guy, right behind Teixeira. Well, in home runs, I mean.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely helped you guys' lineup between, like you were just saying, Wheeler at your third spot, and then Teixeira to clean up. I mean, I know you've been talking on. I guess we'll go into the next question. At this point, what do you see yourself as free agency starts to approach? Where do you see yourself as, whether you're a buyer or seller, maybe what you're looking for? So I just want to elaborate on that.
Free agency?
Trade deadline. Sorry.
As of right now, I'm in the wild card race. I'm leading it. So I was thinking about selling due to the youth, but I don't want to let down the fans. I want to push and try and win the World Series. So I'm a buyer. I'm looking for pitching. Same at the beginning of the year. I need just that one guy who might be able to make a push for the playoffs and get us to the World Series.
Is there any teams right now that you're in serious talks with, or anybody that stands out to you that you're interested in? I guess if they listen to this, they are able to hear.
Serious talks. I'm not in any serious talks. I have looked around. A lot of big fanatic of Max Scherzer in the Cardinals organization now, who Charles was talking about possibly shipping off, but I don't know if we can afford to bring in the organization without giving up enough that I would lose out in the playoffs. So right now we'll see what happens. I haven't made any serious talks with anybody, but trade deadline is still a little bit away. So as that approaches, things might get more serious, and we'll see. Right now, CC Sabathia, we got to see how he performs coming back now, and that might help us too. That we don't need to go out and shop for a big name pitcher to get us there.
So we'll ask you the same question that me and Charles asked Jess. Who's the one guy in the whole league that you would want, whether he's on the block or not? Is it Scherzer or someone else you have in mind?
I could answer that one.
The whole guy in the whole league?
A-Rod?
Well, Shane, what do you think? Let's hear it.
Is it Mike Trout? Is it Mike Trout?
Mike Trout would be a big one. I would take Mike Trout. That would be tough.
You need pitching, so you're thinking pitching right now.
I would like to bring Masahiro Tanaka to the Yankees organization. I still believe.
Yeah.
When the 3-day sims were going on, I was cheated out of Masahiro Tanaka coming to New York wearing pinstripes, but we'll not argue that. And we'll see how long Houston can afford to keep him in their organization before. I feel like Masahiro Tanaka's not being used to his full potential with no offense to back him up. So we'll see how that goes. But if any player could pick, I think I'd bring Masahiro Tanaka.
Interesting.
I don't know about Houston, but I don't if he shops Tanaka the right way, he could get a nice, I don't know, maybe this was his intentions all along, and get some kind of a nice prospect package out of the deal. Now,
I don't know what's going on over there, but just looking at the Astros block right now, he's not even on the block. Charles says he's up for discussion for anyone really, but I don't think they're really looking to shop him specifically. Maybe if you sent out an offer, maybe.
Right. Well, with Masahiro Tanaka, he's got a 2.87 ERA with such a weak offense. He's only 4-6 when he started 17 games with on 125 innings. With an offense more powerful to back up, I believe he could have a much better winning record with a lot less losses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Houston is obviously they're 14 games behind in the AL West. Not to knock them, but when you got a guy like Tanaka making that kind of money, it really limits you. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I mean, he's active. The GM is active, so we'll see what happens.
Any guy you want to trade away, Matt? Maybe unload or something?
Want to trade away? I am looking to trade away Curtis Granderson. He'll provide a lot of home runs for to go to. Maybe a team trying to make a push for the playoffs. I know the Giants are talking about looking for power. And,
yeah.
I tried on the chat getting a hold of Dre. I believe it's his name. To see if he wanted him, but I never heard back. But yeah, he's my #1 player that I want to shop around right now. He's going to be returning from the DL, but he is a big home run hitter. He will. He doesn't have the highest batting average. He's going to be in the mid-200s, but he'll give you power. Yeah, he's my #1 player that I would like to trade away. I have some prospects that are not to be named as of right now, but I might be shopping them around a little bit later too, hoping to get a return maybe if I need something for the playoffs.
Yeah, sounds good. Can we talk Mason Williams? I really want to.
Oh yeah, that's good catch. How did we not get to him?
Mason Williams. I wrote a lot of articles about him. I don't know about a lot, but I wrote about him in the beginning of the year. He was my favorite prospect. Been a big fan of him this year. Yeah, stepping up huge right now. Is batting the leadoff spot. He's batting .313, 6 home runs and 38 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. What's more impressive right now is he's got 21 doubles with 2 triples so far, 22 walks, and 10 stolen bases, which we want to get him stealing more bases on base paths. He's a fast guy. But those doubles, if he's just keeps hitting those doubles for us, bringing in runs, that's what we like. He's hitting great in the leadoff spot, and eventually I could see him making his way into a 3 or 4 hitter. We plan on locking him up and keeping him around in the organization for a long time.
There's been some reports on Mason Williams and maybe his personality. There's been talks that he's not a very good leader. His loyalty to a club is extremely low. His desire to win is very low. He's an extremely greedy individual. His challenges and work ethic are really low. So is that any cause of concern? Because when you think of the Yankees, you think of someone that wants to win. Is his personality traits in the clubhouse, is that going to be a problem?
Well, no. As of right now, I don't believe so. His morale is great. Producing for the team. Eventually, he's young. He's 22 years old. He's not ready to be locked up anywhere. He wants to explore and he wants to make money. As a young, great baseball player like him, that's how they are. We're hoping that will all change around. He is a very important part of this offense, so we're going to try and lock him up. If he keeps producing the way he is, he hasn't been suspended, nothing in trouble to get him knocking on the field. So as long as he's there, we'll keep himself on the field.
Hey Matt, what would you rank your personality ratings if you were a ball player, which you are? So,
What's
your greed? What's your desire to win?
Well, my desire to win would be the highest you could possibly be.
What's your leader ability?
Okay.
I hate losing. It's bad. I hate losing more than I love winning. So,
Okay.
I believe my leader ability would be high. I like being a leader in the dugout. But my intelligence is high. Work ethic, that's about normal. Practice or something. But
Hey, that's gonna cost you money on the free agency market, right there.
right,
Slow.
my loyalty is extremely high. I've always been loyal to my team, so I think everything is pretty high except for the work ethic, which is also high. I'm not saying it's low. But if I'm able to take a day of rest, I might just take that.
What about your
injuries? Injuries are catching up. You gotta.
What about your greed?
Your greed is high too?
Sure.
Very high?
I don't know about my greed being super high. It's normal.
Okay.
That's what I would rank myself.
Yeah, I would sign you.
Yeah, I would say. Okay.
Topic of offense. I'd like to talk about Mark Teixeira too. Actually, who's been fantastic this year. He had a great season last year where he hit 44 home runs and 125 RBIs, and we're not even to the All-Star break yet, and he's just shredding the league apart right now. He's hitting 271, 25 home runs, and 74 RBIs already. We're not even at the All-Star break, so I'm extremely happy with his performance. At 34 years old, he's still competing very well. He's worth this season. He's worth every dollar we're paying him, which is not a low number. It's a very, very, very high number. And so hopefully we have him signed until 2016. Hopefully he can keep producing like this, and we would love to keep seeing that happen. I'd like to see him repeat 44 home runs, if not more. He's projected for 50 as of right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that number, that salary you were just saying, I think that's justifiable. That's $25 million, right?
22 and a half.
22. Okay, even better. That number is justifiable when you're leading in RBIs, home runs. You're gonna lead. I mean, Mark Teixeira, if he can keep it up, his batting average is a little bit low, but his home runs and RBIs are up. I mean, he's leading RBIs. He's one back from leading in home runs in all of Major League Baseball. I mean, in your defense, that makes it justifiable that you're getting a guy that's the top of his game, and he's a little bit older, but he's still producing. So it's still definitely worth it. He'll be talks in MVP for the year.
He's in contention, I think.
He's in contention, yeah. I think it's safe to say he'll obviously have locked up an All-Star. He'll be headed to the All-Star game for sure. So.
And how are you financially, Matt? That's kind of a pointless question to ask, but did you get all your draft picks signed? And we kind of discovered the international amateur free agency this morning. So, what's your stance on that?
I had a weak draft class this year, so I don't believe I'll be signing. I don't know who I'm going to sign as right now. We're still talking, but I don't know if I'm going to sign anyone just yet. But international. I did have my eyes out on one guy who I'm sure everyone will have their eye out for.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did that just appear this morning? Because where did that come from?
Yep, today the international amateur free agency started. The signing period.
Today?
Yep, today it started. Or last night. Last night it was up. But yeah, there's Carlos Castillo. Everyone I'm sure will have their eye on him. He's looking He's I believe 16-year-old Dominican. So, but he's gonna ask $5.5 million, which is well over the penalty. So you get the penalty tax put on. He's gonna cost a lot of money. Take a long time to develop, but he's looking like he could be a great player. I just don't know if I justifies going out there and spending that much money right now on a 16-year-old player. As far as international free agencies go, I have my eye on him, but we're not set on making a deal yet or giving him an offer.
He ended up missing the draft because of that Dominican trip. So his players that were selected aren't that great.
Wait, he went to the Dominican Republic now? After New York?
No, he said he went to the Dominican for a scouting trip.
All right. That's one hell of a business trip, man.
He lives in New York, Richie. He's the GM of the Yankees. Come on.
All right. So he was in two places at the same time. All right.
No, he over those 2.5 months he was gone, he was scouting in Dominican. So he was scouting.
All right.
Yeah, so his draft class is a little bit weak. Are you talking to any of your players on extensions, or is there anybody that you're hoping? Are you in like the middle of one, or are you still contemplating on who?
Well, there's actually been 4 extensions offered, which are all to my cost-effective players. I'm hoping to get them re-signed. Ryan Wheeler was offered an extension. Zolio Almonte, who's huge in right field for me, he is offered an extension. Mason Williams, we're going to try and lock him up for a while. Catcher Austin Romine, who I love defensively. We weren't expecting much out of him offensively, but he's producing.
Yeah.
And Brett Marshall, who starting pitcher, we offered him extensions. So those are my extensions. Actually, those are my five. Those are my 5 extensions that have been offered right now. And we'll see. They haven't gotten back yet. We'll see what happens, and if we get to keep them around in the stripes for a while.
Yeah, that definitely youthens your team on some of those guys. Makes you a lot younger. Okay, Richie, do you have anything else?
Yeah, let's talk about your division. Kind of, where do you see yourself finishing, and if you're in contention at all, which I think you are, right?
Yeah, I'm right now sitting 4 games back. Toronto's leading the division. I believe right now, fact between us both is we both have such powerful offenses. I'm sitting second in runs scored. He's sitting at first in Toronto. My batting average is first and on-base finish first. All of our offenses just swapping back and forth between us. He's got the pitching advantage, I believe, with Ari Dickey and Edwin Jackson both pitching outstanding seasons for him. So I'm hoping I can get out ahead of him against him, but I'm not sure how that's going to work yet. I can't win the division. I'd like to stay in first in the wild card and make a push for playoffs that way. When you never know what will happen when playoffs come around.
You surprised the Blue Jays are leading the ultra competitive AL East?
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
I'm really surprised. Is when I first, in the beginning of the year, after free agents and everything, I didn't see Toronto being the leader. I saw Baltimore and Tampa with their pitching. Baltimore's got good pitching, but they're I don't know, the first 2, that young Dylan Blaine doing good, and then Tampa, who's got good too, but I never saw Toronto being the leader in the division.
I think, yeah, if you look at it, if you look at Toronto and New York, they've got, Toronto is also in the same boat as New York. Their pitching is really weak. They're struggling for pitching. Their offenses are just powerhouses. Then you look at Tampa and Baltimore. They've got the, well, not so much Baltimore. They've been
Tampa's got the defense and the pitching.
Yeah, but no offense.
Yeah, I think the deciding factor in that division is going to be the pitching, because everyone's basically got the offense, right?
Yep. Yeah.
If you capitalize on your pitching on the stretch run, I think you're going to make out with that division. So you stand a good chance, Matt. If you can get an arm or 2, maybe.
That's the thing. I think it really, and I've talked to him obviously offline. His offense is definitely postseason ready, but he needs like an arm or 2 to, well, we don't know what Pineda's status is, which would change his whole picture. But if Pineda's still good to go, which hopefully he is, it'd take one more arm. You want at least 3 solid guys to get through a series. Yeah, you definitely stand a chance. So yeah, both Sox are right behind the Yankees too, 5.5 behind. the leader. Ortiz just went down with an injury. Looks like. Yeah, 7 months. Well, I didn't know that. Ortiz is gone. I must have missed that memo.
He's done.
Okay.
Well, Bo Sox not your problem, so that's one team out of your hair. So really, you only need to worry about the Rays and the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Those are out of it too, I think.
Ace just beat me last night. David Price they jumped on me in the first inning with that 2-run home run by Matt Joyce, and then Pineda going down. Tonight we're gonna get a taste of CC Sabathia during the live sim. CC Sabathia versus Matt Moore. Matt Moore, good pitcher, 7-7.
Sabathia's back?
Yes. No rehab.
No rehab?
Sabathia's back for a toss.
No rehab after like 7 months? Or how long was he out for?
I don't remember how long. It was
Is that why you're not rehabbing him? Because you don't know?
out for 2 months, so we're throwing him in there right away to get him.
He should have been rehabbed, but
YOLO. There's YOLO status.
He's like all in. He's like, I need the pitching now.
Yeah. I can't fall behind.
At that point, where CC's at, I kind of agree. Like, I think he's already fragile, isn't he?
No, I don't.
Is he normal?
I don't believe so. He is.
He's
okay. He's okay.
He's
He's okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on him. We'll watch him. If we need to give him breaks, then.
His pitch count, maybe. Who knows?
Yep. So.
Yeah. So look out for live sim tonight. CC's.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that game. Down after one pitch.
One pitch gone.
Hey.
I think that would justify if it was a career ending. Max would. It would be career ending.
I'll push for that. You deserve that. You don't need that reversed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, the Yankees GM is getting hot in here, so I have nothing else to do.
No, you guys can take off your clothes together and end this right now, I guess.
Oh, we're gonna go watch some baseball and drink beer.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna relax. I got home late. This is all. We don't. Well, we'll just end this. All right. Next week, I don't know what we have planned. Maybe we'll do like next week. Maybe we'll switch it up. We've done a couple interviews now with GMs. We had our first in studio GM and probably our ever only one. But maybe next week we'll try to get a round table together where there's Charles, Richie, I, maybe Matt in background a little bit, and maybe another GM that wants to join in. At least 5 of us. Maybe talking about some of the things going on around the league versus just on one team.
You know what would be cool? If we can announce the All-Star roster once everything's done voting.
That would be cool. Good idea.
Like a live announcement. For those who care, I mean. Because we haven't even voted yet, so I don't know.
No, I could see, there's my team's, there's, I don't even know if there's a player on my team that's, there's probably one player on my team worthy. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool to announce the AL and NL rosters. Good idea, Richie. Yeah, I don't know if that's not going to be by next week, but yeah, maybe 2 weeks from now. I'd imagine we're starting soon. But yeah, let's plan for to hopefully get Charles on. Rich and I, the normal 3 people. Matt's here. That's 4. Try to get another insight, and then another GM. So about 5 people, all collaborating on what's going on in the league. So Garrett,
yeah, sounds good.
Black. Breaking news: Garrett Cole's on the block.
Black. He's black. What?
I've had 2 beers.
Garrett Cole's black. That is breaking news.
I can't speak anymore. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We're gonna stop wasting your time. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. This is your host Shane and co-host Richie. Well, kind of more of a host now. He's been at it more. So your host Richie, co-host Shane, and then thank you, Matt.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. Peace out. What the fuck is that?